back to Squire Squad. We are here to continue our masks adventure, and I don't know why I am speaking in this cadence. It's not quite William Shatner-esque, but I don't know what it's like. I only know that because I saw your tweet about it. I was never much of a Trekkie growing up. Not that I'm necessarily a Star Wars guy per se either. I just have consumed more Star Wars than Star Trek. Anyway, we started off today being very distracted, so it's going to be a very distracted stream. So buckle up. You just watched our intro video, which is updated with a lot of our new stuff. And we even have a couple more shows on the way in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for that. Speaking of, there won't be a Tuesday stream next week because we'll be doing an offline session 0 for the new game. I'll let David decide if he wants to talk about that when we get around to him, because he'll be running it, taking the place of the Burbs. Let's see. Thursday we should be back with Elegant Creatures. I don't think we have streams Friday or Monday, as those shows are also preparing and ramping up. But this Saturday will be the first session of our new Saturday Night's Pathfinders that I will be running, doing the Extinction Curse adventure path. So circus folk saving the world. It's gonna be a blast, and of course very, very silly because it's GGK plus a circus. So you should come check that out. And then Sunday we should be back with our next episode of Dusk Falls Dead. We had to pass this past weekend, but we should be back, and we'll have LB back with us this time, so she won't have missed anything like she would have if we'd done last weekend. And then yeah, I think that brings us back around. You should follow us on the social medias, especially Twitter, and join our Discord if you want to know when we're doing stuff, like when those new shows get off the ground. I think that's it for channel stuff, so let's go around and start introducing ourselves, shall we? Starting with David.
David. You can find me here on Tuesdays, where we're either playing this or the soon-to-be Stars Without Numbers game. It's kind of a sci-fi sandbox kind of situation. You got a bunch of different planets you can go explore at your own pace and go where you want. Past that, we're still figuring out. The only thing we know so far is everyone's gonna be kind of weird. No one's just being a standard human so far, so which is fine. It's fine. The system allows it. So yeah, it's about what we got so far.
And who are you tonight?
Oh yes, tonight I am Kevin, aka Chrysalis, the transformed. Yeah, that whole deal. This game.
For now. Hi, I'm Z. I am at Necromancy on Twitter. I play Roz, who is the Scion here in this game, and she's gonna save the day.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com or at Danae Keener on Twitter. I'm playing as Chloe, also known as Hemlock, and she is the Doomed playbook.
Oh, apparently LB was muted during the intro. Check OBS because we want to make sure we can hear you.
It's fine. I did the thing where I did the mute opposite.
It got out of sync.
That's fine. I'm LB Hackemup. Find me at LB Hackemup. Thursday is Lauren's birthday, so we're doing a stream for her birthday at LB Hackemup. That's it. Corvin, Subrina, Outsider, yeah.
Yeah. And that brings us back around to me. Hello, I'm Alex, OMG it's some guy on the internet. Here Tuesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Saturdays, and now Sundays, and then also Sundays over on LB's channel playing in her Masks game there. But tonight I am the Game Master. I don't actually know if Masks has a fun name for the Game Master. I don't think there's anything specific. But let's talk about what happened last time. Because if you weren't in our Discord and saw Z reacting to it because she missed the previous session, let's talk about what happened. So, things started off with the group reacting to a mysterious broadcast that called into question not necessarily the validity of heroes, but posing the question of what separates a villain from a hero. And then it very quickly ran through shots of all the different heroes in Port Arbor, including the Squires and including Roz's Fragment, who has yet to publicly debut as a Squire. The Paladins sent a message saying, you know, all Paladins and Knights are hereby mobilized. Squires are not mobilized and should not engage in heroics at this time. You know, until they figure out exactly what's going on. But there was speculation that this is the work of one of the bigger villain groups in Port Arbor, known as Whisper, and of course spelled a very pretentious way with no vowels and whatnot, but they are known to be sort of hackers and dark web villains. But the squad decided, hey, we're all 18 years old. Let's check ourselves out of school so we can go do hero shit. But Roz got caught up being the newfound popular girl at school and was not able to get away from her adoring fans. And so we'll find out what Roz was up to shortly. But the Squires decided to stop first at a gas station to get snacks, and Chloe used her powers to try and trace the broadcast, and seemingly tracing it back to a warehouse in the industrial district. Just remember that I wrote up a recap and don't need to just do this off the top of the dome, so let me refer to that. So, finding a warehouse in the industrial district, the team discussed how best to share this knowledge without getting in trouble, given that they were explicitly told not to do hero shit, when they noticed a flickering shadow in the alley. This revealed itself to be the shadowy entity they'd encountered previously, and soon earned the nickname Jebri from the team. It asked them tricky philosophical questions about good and evil, heroes and villains, and each member gave their own definition of morality. Chloe then also gave Jebri a list of philosophy books to check out from the library. The shadowy figure then warned them that the eye could see all, pointing out many nearby electronic devices before vanishing. The team briefly debated creating an EMP, but Kevin explained all the reasons that would be a very bad idea, though it does lead to the revelation that Subrina's powers could potentially do that, as well as create a black hole or wormhole, and that she may have brought herself to Earth inadvertently using her powers. The team decides to do a flyby of Paladin's HQ and tell someone in person, since all electronics are possibly compromised. They then face another crisis: which heroes do they really trust? In deciding who to inform of what they have discovered, and they ultimately decided on Mouseketeer. So they flew close enough for Kevin to reach out telepathically and communicate and pass along the information, and then they decided to go get some hibachi lunch downtown for some plausible deniability. While they were at lunch, they received news reports on their phones about a weird blackout at a library and decided to go check that out. But as they were leaving the hibachi place, Kogi Grill, the O from the sign briefly changed to an I that watched them go. At the library, they found people being ushered out and asked what happened, being told a weird blackness swept over the library, and though no one appeared to be hurt, it did cause a panic and they decided to evacuate. The team quickly shifted into hero mode and entered to investigate in an official capacity. Spreading out in the library, Hemlock went to the philosophy section, Corvin flew up high to survey things, and Chrysalis went to the digital media section. seeing as the group suspected perhaps that they might know what caused this weird blackness thing. Corvid noticed that all the security cameras were tracking her movements. Chrysalis found a cryptic message displaying on the monitors, and Hemlock found books apparently reading themselves and falling off the shelves. And Jebri, popped out of the book saying it was trying to learn. Shortly after, energy beams shot out of all the various security cameras in the library, vaporizing the team and Jebri, who thought that Hemlock was attacking in her attempt to protect them. And they found themselves in a cyberspace facing down a villain who called themselves Screenshot. Things are not going well for the team, and Jebri has seemingly vanished from the cyberspace, and we still don't know what Roz has been getting up to. So, let us figure out what she's been doing, and then we will get back to the action, as it were. So, Roz, it's homeroom. You see the rest of your Squire squad raising a hand, asking to excuse themselves, and kind of just not listening to the teacher and leaving. You try to join them, but you are on the other side of the room. There are too many people in the way, and you just kind of get held up. And maybe there's a little bit of, it's only your second day in this school. You should maybe not cut class. So you spend most of the school day in school, periodically texting the group, but we'll say that they don't respond after they realize, all electronic communications are compromised. And so if any of you do check your phones, you see just lots of questions from Roz about what's going on. But you go through most of the school day as normal. People are, everyone is still, of course, talking about the broadcast. It's very difficult for teachers to get anyone to focus on things. And soon enough, the seniors are set free to do their extracurricular activities. Seeing as Roz signed up for many, many, many clubs, she is kept quite busy until the end of the school day. And it is as you are leaving and checking your phone for the umpteenth time and walking past an alley that there's a weird shadowy thing that reaches out and pulls you in. And it wraps around your mouth so that you don't scream, but very quickly says, I think your team needs help.
Are you... Wait, can I talk?
Yes, it
Or is
will.
my mouth still covered? Oh, okay.
It'll release it.
Pat! Are you a friend?
I don't know if I understand that word, but...
Are you nice? Are
there
you
is
good?
no time for this.
Or bad? What?
I was learning about good and bad when there was an attack.
Can you take me to there?
Yes, it will be unpleasant.
Like painful?
I don't know pain. And before
Wow.
there's anything else, this shadowy figure envelops, washes over you, and it is, even with your magic and the various experiments done to you, you don't have the words to describe the sensations. It's like you're there, but you're not. And it's, it could have taken a millisecond, it could have taken an eternity, and then you find yourself outside, or not outside, actually, you find yourself inside the library. And you see, actually, all of your friends kind of standing there with beams emitting from the security cameras and kind of catching their faces. And you see them kind of twitching a little bit every so often, but otherwise they just seem to be standing there stupefied. As you try and go and do that, the shadowy figure warns you against, do not enter the beams. They are stuck in another world. You can enter, but it will be difficult to escape.
Would we have to win the game to escape?
It is less a game and more a fight.
Look, shadow man, dude, friend, person. If I break the cameras, will that help or hurt?
It might. I thought it would be best to get their friend. I did not try this yet.
Oh, you're so smart, learning so bad. Okay, I'm freaking out.
Let me turn on some tenser music.
Oh, I can't even hear any. Oh, well. Okay, so Freaky Shadow Friend says don't go in, don't touch him. Maybe breaking the lasers won't kill them, hopefully. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and cast a spell to I'm gonna try and break the cameras.
Okay.
Actually first. No. Yes. No. Yes. I'm gonna try and break the cameras.
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna, in Latin. Well, first I'm gonna fragment up, woo, and then I'm gonna in
Also,
Latin
just
say,
briefly,
oh.
I said you can kind of see them all, but they are all in like different areas. You see Corvid is flying up high, just kind of hovering in the air. Chrysalis is off to the side, but over by some computer banks, and Hemlock is over in some shelves of books.
Okay.
And so it would be a little difficult to get all of them at once, but
Okay. In that case, I will do a different spell, and I'm actually just gonna summon I'm gonna try and magically summon like a mirror mask in front of everybody. So the lasers won't be able to reach their faces and might reflect off. So hopefully they could wake up.
Okay.
I think that'll be easier to target 3 people instead of question mark number of cameras that I can't even see.
Sure.
In which case, in Latin, I'm gonna say, I can't pronounce this right, but go with it. Nipson anomemata memonon opsin, which is a palindrome. It just means wash sins, not only the face. But hey, I do what I can.
All right. This is going to be trying to decide if this is protect someone or unleash your powers.
Well, let me check my stats and I'll tell you what I'd prefer.
Yep.
I would prefer to defend someone if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah. So let's go with that.
Cool.
So
do I have anything for defending?
I mean, you already have +3. So.
Well, I mean, I think I get something for if I successfully.
Okay.
Anyway, we're rolling savior. Here we go. Please, 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 please. 13, baby! Okay. I am here for my buds.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So let's do this because I see you have your all show them move. When you defend someone who doesn't believe in you, you can always take influence over them even on a miss. So we'll go through this one by one and do a series of rolls. So who are you trying to save first?
Coming into the library, Chloe's behind some bookcases, so probably don't see her first. Probably see Kevin first, and then Corbett up in the air, and then I would see Chloe. So I'll say this one was for Kevin, just because I see him first, and so I probably point to who I can see first, and then. So first is Kevin.
Yep. Okay. So you are casting a spell. Mirrored shield goes up in front of Kevin. Let's cut to inside of Screenshot's domain. So the rest of you are inside. Things are looking pretty rough. You have seemingly disabled one of the hands Screenshot was using. The laser turrets are, I believe, under one of you is controlling them, but there is still another hand forming up to attack, and there is still the big giant face of Screenshot, and the face certainly looks unharmed in any capacity. So the 3 of you are kind of grouping up, trying to figure out what to do when Corvid and Hemlock you see Chrysalis kind of glitch out and then like gets more pixelated until eventually like de-reses and Chrysalis vanishes from in front of you. And Chrysalis, you suddenly snap back to yourself in the library and see this like, I mean, I don't know exactly how the mirrored mask looks from the other side, but there is an object in your face, and you can kind of see like the edges of a beam of light poking around it, but it seems to be blocking the beam of light from you.
I assume I'm still concentrating and casting.
All right. Yeah, I'll try and take cover somewhere, get behind something big. I don't know.
Sure. So you do that. You look back. You see Fragment in the lobby doing her magic thing, and you also see Jebri kind of flitting around, kind of examining Fragment, and then like sees that you are out again and zips over to investigate you.
Oh, hey. Thanks for helping everybody.
I found your friend?
Appreciate it. Yeah, that was super helpful.
Let's cut briefly back inside. Hemlock and Corvid, you see Chrysalis vanish without apparently being hit by anything that Screenshot is doing.
I mean, we can only assume that, like, he got by Screenshot.
He got by Screenshot.
Seems like a reasonable assumption.
Shauna Noble has been saved.
No! How dare you! We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. I think having Kevin disappear, Corvid's gonna go a little nuclear and try to just wing an EMP.
Okay. Remembering the conversation earlier, I mean, maybe at some point in the day, maybe over lunch, Kevin kind of explained what you would need to do to create an EMP. Or actually, I guess, Kevin, would you have explained any of this to Subrina? I guess it's a question of tell her what to do so she doesn't accidentally do something worse, or do you decide it is too dangerous?
I mean, I guess if we're talking about it, I would use I'd have to use the internet, because Kevin doesn't know how to make an EMP out of light.
Sure.
And yeah.
I'm just gonna try and burn really bright.
I think we're both going a little nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
You go first.
Yep.
Okay.
You do still have your mode up, Hemlock, which is probably all that's going to save you from this.
So we have an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And would this be unleashing my powers? I mean, that makes the most sense to me.
Yes, yeah. This will be Unleash Your Powers.
So what do I get from the opportunity? Because I already get +1 for being angry.
Yeah. I mean, create an opportunity is generally very nebulous. It allows me to, offer something that could be, just a +1 forward. Let me quickly double check the thing.
That's why I'm asking.
Yes, so I see I have a little cheat sheet of some notes for me. And it does, so it specifically calls out in the book that creating an opportunity for your allies can be used to just add a team to the pool. But, we'll say that it can, we'll say that combined with what Hemlock did to the hand, and with you briefly take Screenshot seems distracted from that, then sees Chrysalis disappear, and the hand that's been approaching halts for a fraction of a second, which gives you enough time to think. So we'll just say that this does give you a +1. That was a very long way to go about saying that.
Yeah, an extra +1?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, which I needed. 9.
Mm-hmm. So you could either take the mixed success, or you could use one team from the pool to bump that up.
Fucking do it.
Okay.
All right.
We're mad.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Sure.
I have an idea, but for how do you envision Hemlock helping in this moment?
Well, okay, so Sabrina's just powering up for like a really bright blast,
brighter than
right?
you've ever seen her do thus far.
I think that like there's we took out one hand and there was another one still active, right?
Yep.
I think that she just like reaches up and like grabs the hand with like a bunch of vines, and like holds it back as it tries to like grab Subrina while she's powering up.
Okay, and I will say as you're doing that, you're still on a bit of a high from absorbing, or no, which one of you absorbed the other hand? Was it Subrina or Hemlock?
Good question. I mean, Hemlock is like absorbing is her MO, but I don't remember doing that.
I think it was Hemlock, honestly, because I don't think Sabrina
really
I
does
I don't remember
that.
Z, you just watched it.
Probably one of the few times I was trying to listen and work. Sorry.
Wow.
So,
I see.
As a GM, I don't do, or just generally, I don't do as many notes for combat, but I do have Corvid took out one hand.
Okay.
But so...
I believe you.
Yeah, so I will say in this, as you are latching onto this other one, Hemlock, you hear your inner monologue again kind of going, don't let her show you up. Suck this one up too. And so maybe that's something that you could pursue shortly, but for now you are holding the hand back and giving Corvid the time to go supernova, which brings you up to a 10, which means you do it.
Yeah. Corvid's green glow emerges from her cloak, and it covers her whole body, and she like kind of furls her arms out, and it goes from like a dark green to a bright green neon.
Yeah. Hemlock, it's a little bright for you. Your like plant hat, even like without you thinking about it, goes down to cover your eyes so that you are not blinded by this. And
this does not need to make an EMP, by the way. I don't know how actually logical that is, so
Yep. But so yeah, you don't know if it's doing the physics stuff to do an EMP, and also you're in a weird cyberspace where maybe physics are real, maybe
who
not.
knows?
But regardless, you do hear this very pixelated, upset sound come from Screenshot, and as kind of the light fades and things come back, you see that there is almost like burn marks across that big giant face. And so this is going to Screenshot is going to mark angry, and in so doing is going to do a villain's condition move. And so it is going to what it's going to do is Hemlock, the hand that you were kind of holding back, starts to pixelate and break apart, but it's not you doing it, and you see that it's breaking apart into a bunch of smaller hands that are like burrowing into the vines that you latched onto it, and you feel essentially a computer virus surging through the vines towards you.
Oh boy, oh boy. Should I roll to take a powerful blow here?
Not just yet. We're gonna cut back out to the library, and so this is one of the few times I'm gonna specifically call out, like, don't think about meta knowledge of what's going on in the cyberspace. Fragment, who are you going to try and save next?
It was Corvid. It was the one I could see after Kevin. Sorry.
Yep. So, please roll plus savior again.
Yes. Do I have influence? I do. Okay. Click. Click. Submit.
All right.
11.
You do it just fine. Oh, I guess I should have been saying that, because it's a hit, you should pick one from the list, so you'll get to do this twice. You can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I don't think I have any conditions. No, I don't.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I do. I have Hopeless. So for Kevin, I will have cleared Hopeless.
Okay.
And for Sabrina, I will add a team to the pool.
All right.
And I take influence over both of you again.
Well, no, you only pick one.
Well, oh, right. Well, no, because of my move. I take influence always.
Only if they don't believe in you already, which I guess would be a
Do you guys? We can
conversation.
talk about it later. We can talk about it later.
But yeah, so I hope one of you all has been keeping track of team from the pool. And so you refocus the spell on Corvid, and Corvid inside the world. You wonder if maybe you overdid it as you start to feel a little weird and woozy and suddenly find your vision getting blurry and pixelated. But then you snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Just kidding, you're flying, you're fine. But there is now an object in front of you, between you and this beam of light, much like there was for Chrysalis. And you see down underneath you, that fragment is kind of gesticulating. Chrysalis is there, as is the shadowy figure.
Did I do it? Did I do it? I'm dizzy. She just like starts to feather fall down.
Back in the cyberspace, Hemlock, things are not looking great. You've got this hand coming to you. You see that Corbin has apparently blown herself up.
Yep.
Because you don't see her anymore.
So Chrysalis is gone. Corvid is gone. All these fucking hands are all over the place. Hemlock is alone. And the voice inside her is saying, take him out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to power up again.
Okay.
All right,
Very
that's
good.
a full hit. I get 3 hold.
Yep.
So here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to use my overcharge. And I'm just going to full on ignore the hands and just like blast upwards towards the screen. And I want to like jab like vines directly into it. And like, I'm willing to mark my doom track for this. I want to literally reach out of the computer screen and go after the guy behind it in the real world.
Sure. I understand the intent.
I even have an ability called Portal, which is mark your doom track to appear in a scene with anyone you want. I don't mind if it doesn't hurt him a lot, but I want to hurt him. Period.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to reconcile the intent with the stuff that is going on that you are unaware of. Okay, so overcharge is, to take a 10 plus when you unleash your powers. So I will say you can definitely hurt Screenshot in this moment. Okay. So I think what's going to happen is you do this. You launch yourself up. There's still like some of the little hands are still trailing along vines that are coming towards you, but you kind of whip them out at the big giant face. They, I don't actually know if acupuncture goes in the face, but it's, death by 1,000 pricks almost in this moment. And it, Screenshot is letting out yet another noise of rage. And yeah, in this moment, screenshot is going to mark afraid, and the villain move it's doing is fleeing, and so you see that like the cyberspace is starting to destabilize around you, and so you have this moment to decide: do you want to pursue screenshot and attempt to show up wherever they are, or do you want to escape back to the real world?
Oh no. If Hemlock believes that her friends are gone, she would pursue.
Okay. So you start charging up your powers. It's this weird feeling of, it's like when you got sucked into this world, but 1,000 times worse. And it almost feels like you are breaking apart into seed spores, like a dandelion might, as you are preparing to vanish and follow this thing wherever it is. Back out in the real world, the rest of you are, heading to the philosophy stacks to where Hemlock is, and you see her plants are going wild. They're starting to like cocoon around her almost. Like the beam is on her face is kind of flickering and stuttering, and as you rush over, the shadowy figure has been kind of like ducking from shadow to shadow to get around faster, and is on Hemlock before the rest of you get there, and it's like, this is not the villain. She's doing this. And so I think what is going to happen here is, because I'm torn between, I very much like the idea of letting Hemlock go and do this thing, but also, do your friends have an opportunity to do something before you, like, I'll say they see, like, you've been encased in this vine cocoon, and then you are actually, like, it's turning into, like, the little dandelion blowies, and it's, like, starting to disintegrate the cocoon.
She doesn't feel so good, Mr. Stark. If I can't, so I can't save her from the beams anymore. I don't know exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems to be like dandelioning away, is what you said.
Yeah.
If I can, I'm gonna try and switch my spell over to a different spell because the other one's not working, and I'm gonna try and essentially put like a tracker on her.
Okay.
So like wherever she does go, I want to know where that is, or like if she's breaking in pieces, I want to Dragon Ball her back together later if possible. Like I don't know what's happening.
Okay. I'll say this is more of an unleash your power, because this is trying to,
do a thing. Yep.
figure out a spell more on the fly. It's less obvious what the intent needs to be.
Yeah. And I don't have influence over her, so I don't get bonus. Well, I don't know if I would anyway, because this is unleash powers.
Okay.
Another 11. Oh my god.
Very nice. So
So the palindrome is in Catalan. It is no sap pason, which means they do not know where.
all right. So you see Chloe's cocoon disassembling, falling apart. But you kind of throw, you do your spell, and like you shoot out fairy dust that like latches onto the little dandelion seedlings.
Yeah. All little rainbow glitters, like my little light I shoot out when I detach.
Yeah. And so you feel confident that even though it looks like your friend is going somewhere, it's a little less worrying because it does appear plant-based, and that's her power set, but it is still like, okay.
And Shadow Friend said this is her doing it on purpose, so.
Well, didn't necessarily say on purpose.
Well.
Shadow Friend doesn't know in that level of intent.
Well, this is my interpretation of what Shadow Friend said.
But so yes, you feel confident that you would be able to track Chloe. Back inside cyberspace, Chloe, you are. I mean, I'm gonna pull one of the tropes of like you're going through a series of tubes as you apparently go through the internet, and it's you don't really have sensation in your body, and as you are going along, like you can kind of see this face of screenshot like diminishing in the distance and like zipping around the tubes just out of sight ahead of you. And as you are going, you do hear that voice in your heads saying, "This is why I prefer organic." And it does not sound pleasant, and it is a very unpleasant feeling as you are doing this. But out in the library, you all see that like these dandelion-y bits kind of fall to the ground in the library. But Roz, you know that like your magical sense, like they hit the ground, your glitter kind of pops off, and then you feel it almost quantum-like appear elsewhere in the city that you have a fix on.
So Corvid and Chrysalis are both there. Shadowfriend is there. What the fuck happened? I leave you alone for like a few hours and you get Code Leo code. What the fuck?
I think I did an EMP. Did I get myself out? Is that me?
I got you out with a spell, but I'm
Oh.
sure you did great because Shadowfriend said you were fighting for your lives.
Yeah. Ow.
Oh. By
My
the way,
insides are wrong.
I think Hemlock's fine. She's
What?
yonder. She disintegrated into dandelions on purpose, I think. Shadowfriend said she did it. Nothing but it's dandelion seeds, but I did a thing with magic and she's Leos. She's over there.
How far over there?
That's not the music I want.
A
Sorry.
while. That way. Point.
Kevin,
Is it
will
just
you
your spell
carry
just
me?
does a point?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I'll-
assuming it's kind of like primeval awareness in D&D. It's just like, I know it's this direction, far-ish.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll say that Kevin and Subrina, you kind of have the vague idea of like, oh, that's towards the industrial section of town.
Oh no, we know exactly where it is.
No.
Why? What? What did you
Alright.
guys get up to today? I have been texting so much.
Well, the guy screenshot is the bad guy's name, and he can see through
Rad.
any electronic device. So we've been kind of keeping it hush. Okay, so we got to go to the industrial district.
Yes. Yeah, maybe we should go like no.
I guess.
As you all are deciding that, you see that Jebri is kind of like
Jebri.
backing away from the group slowly.
Are you okay, Jebs?
I think I did bad today
I
What?
don't think
and
so.
good. I brought
Yeah, you got me here.
this one,
Mm-hmm.
but we also made all the people here leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're
I
afraid.
mean, technically, if you think about it, that's good. You like pre-evacuated them from this, so
also, I don't think it counts as bad. You scaring everyone, right? Because you came to a public library to read books, which is
yeah,
what the library is
anybody.
for.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So them being afraid of you doesn't necessarily make it your fault. I don't think.
We'll
Right,
talk
you
about
could've gone about it a nicer way.
presentation.
Yeah.
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 But
Oh,
net
okay.
positive. You're doing great.
Could you do that gross, horrible thing that you just did to me to get me here, to all of us, to go to where our friend is?
That is, we are tired.
Okay.
Oh.
We
Y-
should
That's fine.
clean
Yeah.
up.
Right.
kind of looking at like there is still the pile of books that they had been working their way through.
And Chloe did start setting an example of like using vines to put them on a cart. So technically, Jebs could definitely figure out like, oh, this is what
Jebs.
You said Jebs first.
I know. It caught on.
So that's totally fine. You're great. Love your whole aesthetic. Black is very slimming. Talking to Jebs.
I know.
Okay.
The shadowy figure will just kind of, you see that its movements are more sluggish than they've been before, and it just like kind of slowly starts going over to some of the books and like scooping up a couple at a time and moving them onto the cart. And at first it just kind of like puts them onto the cart, just like maybe this is going too far for an analogy, but like just lifts them up and just kind of plops them on the cart, and then they just kind of like fall down. It's like, oh no, wait, I should set them on the cart. And so we'll like pick them up and like painstakingly like maneuvers them so that they line up with the books that Chloe did before.
Can I try and do a spell so they're not so wibbly? Like a sort of healing, like a sort of energy healing spell, because it's not like healing. It's just there's a Romanian palindrome about making coffee.
You can certainly try, yeah.
I'm gonna try and pep them. Is this worth the risk? Because this is probably unleash your powers again, and it could go bad.
It certainly is unleash your powers.
It could go bad, fellas.
That's on you.
Nice. I'm doing a risk. Here we go. A 9. A 9.
A
Okay,
knife.
So,
No.
So you could either keep it mixed success and mark a condition, or it's unstable or temporary, or if y'all want to spend a team from the pool, you could do that here.
Team despair, only the best for Jebri. I mean, I can't make that decision.
Yeah. What do you wants to help me when I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna try and pep them up?
I will. Sabrina is you're doing a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina is going to go up beside you, put her hand on your shoulder, and just go, Taco Cat.
That's so cute. It's meaningless, but it's so precious. Yes. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm filled with determination. And I make a shadow coffee.
Yep. And Jeffrey isn't quite sure what to do with it, but kind of looks over and like a tendril kind of reaches out and like grabs it and just pulls it into the main massive shadow.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And they do seem to stand up a bit straighter and moves a little bit more quickly, but
we should go.
Yeah, is like no longer paying attention to you all.
Okay, love you, love your whole vibe. We should go. All three of you are fighting for your lives together. And if you know where she's going, and it's like related to this whole deal, and now she's by herself, I'm concerned.
Yeah, so Kevin, fill in on the way.
Yep.
Are you
Yeah.
guys parked near here?
Yeah.
Great.
And I looked it up. You can create an EMP with light. So, yeah. It's not visible light, it's gamma rays. And gamma rays are specifically what an EMP is. So you can just make EMPs with.
Those are the ones that are like super dangerous.
Could I
Or
also
you do
make a Hulk?
like a short EMP burst. You wouldn't want to like do a prolonged.
I'm trying to remember because there's like alpha, beta, and gamma rays, and one of them is like super, super dangerous, and one's like, yeah, as long as you have clothes on, you'll be fine. And I don't remember which is which.
I don't remember.
I think it's the beta rays are the dangerous ones.
Gamma
Anyway.
rays made the Hulk, and that's all I know.
Yes, but that's also comic books.
Yeah, I think it was before.
This is a comic book, Alex.
That's such a good point.
I know.
I was gonna say that has no bearing on this situation.
Yeah.
We should make a Hulk chrysalis one time.
Yeah. If you all actually want to briefly fill Roz in while I finish taking notes on this scene before we cut over to Chloe, that is fine by me.
I'm assuming we like kaleidoscope wiped.
Yeah, doing
Unless
it
we go
as
say hi to
travel,
Gareth in the Kirby craft, and we're like, nothing happened, Gareth.
I mean,
Yeah.
as the three of you enter, Gareth does kind of look and is like, wait, I thought you had the other girl before.
Oh boy, Gareth switches back into Subrina form. Okay, so the thing at the library was actually Jebri, who is this like black smoke monster guy who can like, he's trying to figure out whether he wants to be a good person or a bad person. He wants to be a good person, but it's hard for him to understand what the difference between good and bad is because he doesn't, you know, he's like baby. So we told him that he should look up some books on philosophy and that sort of stuff. So he went in there and tried to do it, but he scared all the people in there because they didn't know what he was, and it was like, ah. So then everyone evacuated out of there. And then while we were there trying to teach him and like talk to him, like this like weird like thing attacked us and it sucked us into like Cyberland. And then we were like trying to fight them, and I did an EMP kind of, maybe, I don't know. I did something really powerful, but really Roz came and she. Jebri went to get her, and then she came back and she saved us and brought us out there. But then Chloe was like tracking the person through the vines of the electricity and now they're going to the warehouse district. So we're going to go and find her and save her, and I hurt everywhere.
Do you need healing?
I don't know, man.
The longer you have been back in the real world, the more things feel better and more solid.
Oh, phew. Wow. So it sounds like Jebri and I should hang out. We have a lot of the same interests.
And you see Garrett's face is just kind of, yeah, being good is that it's harder than you think.
I know.
Do you have a criminal record?
What was that? Does Garrett have a criminal
Garrett,
record?
do you have a criminal record?
I mean, yeah, I pirated some stuff, but
oh hell yeah, that's
the
not a
cops
crime.
never found me.
Yeah.
It's not a crime. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. And like immediately chills back out.
Thank you so much. Are you winning, son? What game you playing?
Let's cut over to Chloe now. As
I'm
the
worried
rest
about
of
her.
You know, Kirby craft away. Whoosh. Now I want to make Kirby sounds, but I'm not good enough at those. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's the Jetsons. No, yeah, Kirby is like, yeah, no, Kirby.
I can only do Navi.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Chloe, you find yourself yeah, I'm just trying to think how you rematerialize. So you find yourself in a server room, and it is a clean room, or it was, until you realize that like roots burst up through the ground through some of the like tiled floors, and like to an outside observer, like and I don't know how many people have actually been in like a real actual server room, but they're usually constructed on like an elevated floor that has a bunch of tiles so that you can get underneath and do the stuff. One of those tiles shifts as like roots emerge and form almost into like a topiary of hemlock. And once it is formed like a full hemlock, you come back to consciousness as that, as the plants take on a fleshy material as you are hemlock there. And so you're in a server room. There's no immediate sign of anyone else there.
I think she just sort of like peers around ominously. No living bodies in the immediate vicinity.
Nope.
All right. We're going stealth. she's going to try and find who's responsible for this.
Okay. And I think this could just be an assess the situation roll.
Okay.
So please roll plus superior, unless you have something else for that.
I believe I do not. Cool. All right, yeah. We're going to roll with superior.
Which is a -2. Oh, dear.
Yep. And I also have a lot of conditions, so
Yep.
I don't know if conditions affect that.
They
that's
do,
a 3.
but the biggest penalty you can have is a -3. So
Incredible.
Yep.
Oh, would coming here be enough of a foolhardy action that I could clear insecure?
yeah, probably.
Okay.
So
well, let's see if there's anyone here I can hurt.
Yep. But with that 3, it's gosh. So you do get potential for that miss.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Because I'm trying to think, how do you fail forward, but also fail? I'll say that you start wandering around, and kind of as the roots that brought you here, start decomposing, like that tile shifts back into place. It's not perfectly in place, but those roots very quickly decay, and you get a sense like it's gonna be difficult to get back out of here through nature. Like, yes, you do have your power, and so there will be a way to do it, but it may be more stressful.
Understood.
And so you are in this server room. If you are like near any of the servers, it is very hot, but also the room is very obviously air conditioned and kept so that these things don't overheat. And it's, just seemingly rows and rows of servers. And, it looks very high tech in here. So you aren't necessarily sure where you are exactly, because the tubes that you traveled through didn't exactly correlate to real world sensations and locations. But
all right.
I think I will give you this, that as you emerged from the ground, you do get the sense that you are still underground somewhere, wherever you are.
Okay. She's going to wander down the halls of the servers, just trying to look for a way out.
Yep. It doesn't take you too long. There is an exit door that is, glass paned. Seems like maybe there's, from the outside, certainly a thing to, like a thing where you would need an ID badge to swipe in. But here, it's, a push bar to get open and emerge.
Okay. She's gonna kind of look at that and then look back at the servers. I think she's going to reach up with her vines and just try to knock a few of them over, do enough damage that somebody would have to come and check on it.
Okay. For reasons, I'm going to say that this is directly engage a threat roll.
Oh boy, oh boy. That is danger.
Yes.
Okay. I'm giving it a go. That's 5, which is another miss.
Okay, so you can go ahead and mark more potential.
Okay.
And you don't even get to pick a thing from the list. And so what happens is you reach out your vines, and once you get within a few inches of any of the actual servers, a laser wall shoots up and bzz, the vines.
Ow.
Yeah, it stings. It's not going to be enough to cause you to take a condition, but it is okay. even that brief contact was very painful through these vines that you shoot out. So you don't want to know what it would do to, the rest of your body. And you look briefly and you see like there are these little sensors, like at the vertices of the servers, if that makes sense, where it seems like the lasers emerge from.
Mhm.
But you also see that like there is enough coverage that like you couldn't even get to the sensors without other lasers stopping you.
Right. So like there's some serious security here for the server room.
Yep.
She makes a mental note on how important this looks. And then she's going to push that door open. Like, is there any indication that there's like an alarm going off or anything?
Not yet. I'll say with that mist that like once the lasers go off, yes, there is.
Okay.
And it's not like a but it is like the light switch to like the emergency red light mode, and there is kind of a
Okay. That being the case, she's going to slink into the shadows and just wait.
within the server room.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's cut back over to the other group in the Kirby craft. Are you all just flying straight to the warehouse that you had previously triangulated, or what is the plan here?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything else that would bear our attention when we're like worried about Chloe. Like, because at least in Roz's mind, Chloe is like popping out to like do 1v1 mano a mano battle with whoever digitized them.
Yeah.
I mean, Roz might be like nervously talking like, and then there was fencing tryouts and I kicked everybody's ass. Not really, but like I'm on the team anyway. And then photography club,
Yep. So you all hear about Roz's day at school. I guess my question here is, are you reaching out to the paladins at all? Or are you not saying anything?
No.
We weren't supposed to do heroing, right?
Nope.
Also,
we
we
can't-
can't do communication. We can't do communication.
And I'm assuming it would be a detour to fly by Paladin HQ again and do the psychic thing again.
Yep. Plus, you also gather Musketeer's probably not there anymore.
Yeah.
Someone else might be, but so actually, as you get there or approach the warehouse, and I've just been assuming, but remind me, the Kirby craft does have like the chameleon thing. That is one of the traits you gave it. Okay. So you're fairly confident that you are hidden as you approach. You think that maybe if you were approaching the warehouse, which specializes in alien tech, that it might be a trickier thing. Yes, Roz?
I would like to send a carrier mouse to send a message to Musketeer. So it's not electronic, but we can still let him know where we're at.
Okay.
I summon a mouse and carrier mouse it, like a carrier pigeon, but it's a mouse.
Do you also give it a parachute, or are you just going to yeet it out of the flying Kirby craft?
Let it run across the ground, actually. Mouse do what mouse do. He'll find his mouse brother.
Okay. So
When we land, I guess I'll find a mouse. Or I'll parachute a mouse from the Kirby craft if I have to, but ideally not.
Actually, I was thinking that Corvin can do a little recon and turn into a birdie, a seagull, as we are on the coast, and they are everywhere. So she'll grab it in her little, in her mouth, because they don't really have grabby feet. They have flat feet.
Flappy feet.
Flappy feet. You know what? I'm turning into a duck. It's cuter. So
Duck!
So I'm gonna take mouse in mouth and fly it down to the ground, waddle, and then take off again and fly and do sit on roof and see what I can see.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, a couple things are gonna happen. You've landed the Kirby craft, emerged, dropped the magic mouse off, which scurries away. And then you fly up onto a nearby building. And as you are flying up, you see like, because there are like some drones, like pretty small drones, like they are very clearly technologically advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Like one kind of zips past you, like briefly circles around you, but then once you like fly away enough from the warehouse and like onto a nearby building, it kind of leaves you alone and continues on its patrol. And you kind of settle in a bit. You watch as like, especially since you just had that brush with one of them, you can kind of see like, oh, there are others zipping around every so often.
Okay. Duck brain, connect to Kevin. Boop 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 boop. There's a. Gosh, this was Gwen for a second. I apologize. There's a lot of drones out here. Should I try to hack one or take one down that is patrolling this area so that we could land, or what do you want to do?
Give me a second. I am going to try and assess the situation with super senses. See if I can see if there's people here or if it's just drones. What's going on?
Sure. So go ahead and roll plus superior.
All right. I'm going to be probably bad at this from conditions would be my assumption.
Yeah, that's one problem with conditions. Oh boy. So yeah, that's gonna be a miss, but hey, you got your potential that you wanted.
Yep. Right.
And yeah, I'll say that kind of what happens here is as soon as you open up beyond like the telepathic conference call that you are used to, and like that is almost second nature at this point, relatively easy to maintain. As you reach beyond that, you get feedback. Like as you extend your senses towards the warehouse, it's just this terrible grating, screeching noise. Like you reel back, and as your senses retreat from it, it goes away and fades until it's not there anymore. You tentatively reach back out and it ramps back up again. And so you gather that they apparently have some kind of psychic defenses in place.
All right. I will let Subrina know that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think if we do anything to the drones, alarms are going off. So
Unless I have an idea. I can take out one without it being suspicious. Which might give us enough of an opportunity to get in.
Sure. Yeah.
How many are there exactly?
Would that be feasible?
I mean, you can certainly try. You have seen at least half a dozen, but you also can't tell if it's the same ones going around or.
So, just to clarify, this is like a Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, get into the castle, avoid the guards kind of thing. Like overlapping guard patterns, you're trying to like get through without being seen.
Yeah, and I will say like this part of the industrial district, I mean, you flew past some like very obviously active factories as you were flying here, and also, stretches of blocks that are clearly abandoned, warehouses and such. This one looks more on the abandoned side. It's not nearly as, why can't I think of the right word? Dilapidated? I don't think that's quite the right word that I wanted, but it'll suffice.
Broken down, disrepair.
I think disrepair is what I was looking for, but yeah, so looks more in disrepair, except for like these tiny drones that are zipping around, and there's apparently psychic defenses that are in place. And given that this is where Chloe's vision found before, you know, clearly there's more here than meets the eye.
So I love the idea of you doing that, Corbett. What are you gonna do?
I was just gonna fly into one of them.
And
As
that
a duck?
wouldn't be noticed. How?
It'd be noticed, it just wouldn't be suspicious. And then they wouldn't be able to see you.
As a bird. Got it.
Yeah! Sorry.
Are we confident that the full weight of a duck at full speed is enough to
What is the
destroy
airborne
one of these
velocity of a
drones?
traveling duck?
Bird strike.
Yep. I mean, the drone is smaller than Subrina duck.
Oh, they're teensy.
Yeah, I mean, this is the future. These are very highly advanced drones.
They're like the
not quite as small as like the hunter seekers in Dune.
I love that.
So
now what I was gonna say is like the Destiny little drone dudes on the public events on the snow planet.
Europa.
That one.
Smaller than that even. I mean,
smaller than this?
Probably closer to a ghost size, which for those completely confused, this is not, actual size, but this is what we are referring to.
So wait, is it orange size? Cantaloupe size? Watermelon
probably like
size?
What
orange
level
fist
of baby
size of
is it
orange.
in a woman?
I don't remember.
Avocado size.
Yeah, we'll say it's fist size.
A duck could totally nail that.
Yeah.
Out of the sky.
Especially if it's like meant to.
Yeah, if one starts harassing you as a duck, I don't think it'd be weird for a duck to defend itself.
What if there was a flock of ducks all flying together?
Ducks are notoriously territorial.
Oh, that was
It could be a goose. Or a swan.
So what I'm saying is I could duplicate Subrina, like, with a spell. So there's like multiple ducks that are like, fuck me! Fuck! Quack, quack, motherfucker!
The transcript just said so there are multiple drugs. They're like, fuck you,
Well,
works too.
Well.
Yeah. You might have to
go
ask
in.
Gareth about that.
Under a cover of ducks. Just summon a million ducks. We just walk in.
We're really leaning on that Legend of Zelda thing. It's like summoning the cuckoos.
Yeah.
My God.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what to do.
Attack ducks? Attack ducks.
Z, remind me, does Vega's power set include shape-shifting as well?
Yes.
Okay, so as you all are kind of sitting there, figuring out what to do, Subrina, there's another duck that kind of flaps into position and settles down next to you.
It would be like a solid black, almost metal looking
this
duck.
is a very pitch black duck, like not a natural looking duck, and will kind of look over at you and, this is going to be a little unsettling, but like the beak doesn't fully open. It does a thing where like you're talking out of the side of your mouth and it's like, what are you doing here? The squires are not supposed to be in action. And you quickly figure out that this is Vega, one of the alien knights in the in the service. She was one of the ones who was at like that school assembly where Musketeer came and spoke all those like last year.
Sorry. Ruffles feathers. We didn't know how to communicate with you. The screenshot attacked us at the library where we were just studying, and Hemlock got sucked away. And so we tracked her here, and we didn't know how to get in contact because of all the
fucking duck. Sorry, that was probably rather crude given the circumstances.
Flap, 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 flap.
Right. We'll have to talk about these later, but if Hemlock is in there, we will have to move. We were doing this. I was here as recon. And tell me what you've discovered so far. You can quickly relay.
Blah.
Is there anything
Not a lot.
Is there anything that you specifically keep from her for
No.
whatever
Well,
reason?
besides the fact that we were there like scoping something out, we were there. That's the only thing. Everything's above board.
Yeah.
Totes.
And she will, at some point in the conversation, will say like, Musketeer was able to get in touch with me and told me about this warehouse, which is why I'm here. So we are mobilizing more resources to come check these out, but for now, I am all you have. And you know that Vega's power set is very similar to yours. Almost identical, you could say.
Okay. Kevin and gang, Vega's here. We're on the same page as far as everything's good. Can you patch Vega in?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just
Cool.
kind of, hey, Vega, this is Chrysalis.
Well, hey guys, this is weird. Should we come back into the Kirby craft? Is that better for talking, or?
I mean, the Kirby craft is electronics, so we're kind of keeping it all to telepathic right now.
Everybody's a suspect.
Also, we probably don't want to bring another person in to meet Gareth.
True. There's also a civilian here.
Why do you have a
Why
civilian with
would
you?
you tell her this?
He's my roommate. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. These are questions that I
Okay.
cannot answer.
Clearly, you and I are going to have to talk about appropriate human-alien
Again.
relationships later. But for now, more important business. Hemlock is inside.
Yeah.
So,
Let's take care of that first, please.
yes.
Oh, I'll try and reach out. I'll see if I can get Hemlock, even though there's the psychic shield.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe it'll be easier to set up
Yeah, I
like
would
a
say
more of a.
For this, it is going to need to be an Unleash Your Powers roll for you to willingly push past the feedback that you know is there.
And I help.
I mean, we'll see if he needs help.
Hint.
Okay, so could take the mixed success. How much team do you all have at this point? Okay,
We
4.
still have 4.
But so yeah,
I
you
don't-
all could push it up or just keep it mixed success, in which case it's unstable or temporary, or you mark a condition.
Unstable temporary.
Okay, so you know that this is going to be painful, and so you just kind of send out like a weak psychic pulse so that what feedback you get is going to be dispersed and not nearly as painful. And it sweeps over the facility, and it's like you're fairly sure prolonged exposure would give you a migraine. That's how painful this is. But you do quickly sweep over and find one familiar mind underground. You also don't find any unfamiliar minds. But as that pulse kind of sweeps over, Chloe, you get this like brush of a sensation, and it has like the Doppler effect as the psychic pulse pushes past. What do you say in this fleeting moment of contact?
Hemlock, we're here. We're coming to get you. Sit tight.
Is she able to respond?
I'm like, we're here, we're coming to get you today. I'll say you can send back like any motion. You get the sense that the contact is fleeting, so you probably don't have time to formulate a full thought here.
All right. Since the moment she got here, she's been like in full like scary Hemlock mode. And I think for the first time, like the glasses shift and you can see her eyes behind them. And there's just like a look of like utter disbelief. And she just says, Kevin? and like the emotion that he gets back is like, I don't know, the emotion of like realizing your friends aren't dead.
Yeah. So you get that, and we'll say there actually that it's 8:30, 9:30, whatever time zone you're in, 30. Now's a good time to take a break. And we will come back as the team figures out what their plan actually is. So we are going to take a quick break, probably 10 to 15 minutes, refresh ourselves, stretch, take whatever meds you may need, all that good self-care stuff you need to briefly fit in. If you haven't, gotten up and done a wiggle, at least you should do that.
You have to hydrate. Raven redeemed a water break ages ago.
Yep. So yeah, hydrate or dihydrate, stretch, snack, meds if you need them, all that good bio break stuff, and we'll be back very soon. Don't go anywhere. I don't know how much of that you actually picked up from my water bottle making predator noises, but hello, we're back. The noise suppression was too good. But yes, we're back from our break. We have made sure to take care of ourselves on the break. We also, of course, I said at the start this was going to be a distracted stream. We got distracted talking about stuff. But we're here. We're ready to mount a rescue mission? ? Storming the castle, as it were. So we've got Subrina, Roz, Kevin, and Vega on the outside. And Gareth, I guess, though I don't know if you should count him among your assets. And then Chloe on the inside, who has learned that her friends aren't dead. So y'all are outside this warehouse. There are drones doing the rounds. There are some level of psychic defenses. You don't know what other defenses there might be. You don't necessarily know that Chloe witnessed that there were laser defenses in the server room. There's an alarm going off in the server room. Actually, yeah, let's go back to Chloe underground. So the alarms were going off. It's taking a minute or so, then you got that psychic pulse from Kevin. You're suddenly, presumably, much more relieved that your friends aren't dead. And as that psychic contact is fading and you are reevaluating things, you start hearing sounds from outside the hallway coming down. And
she's going to wait in the shadows.
Yep. So you found a corner of the server room. And again, the lights have kind of dimmed to this red. And so it's a little harder to see in here, but you hear sounds outside. You have sort of an angle on the that glass-fronted door into the room, and you see a figure kind of approaching. Puts a hand to the security sensor. You hear a beep, and the door opens. And stepping in, you see a robot. It's humanoid, about 6 feet tall. Looks fairly bare bones. It's got a torso, but it's it's very similar to the not K2SO, but the assassin droid that becomes the nanny bot from Mandalorian, but a more humanoid head on top. But in terms of proportions and limbs and stuff, that is what it is. And as it enters, you see that it is holding some weapon of some kind, something that looks like a gun, like a futuristic gun, but it enters and kind of turns its head, doesn't seem to notice you just yet, but is going to start doing moves, fortunately for now, away from you to like the other side of the server room to start conducting a sweep. And you get the sense actually that it is going towards that server that you had triggered the lasers for.
Right. I'm gonna wait until it's distracted, looking at the server. And like the moment it turns off the alarm, she's going to try and attack it. Now, mind you, I still have 2 hold for my burns and flares. Would I still be able to use that? Okay. Yeah. Like as soon as the alarm powers down, she's going to grab it and yank the gun away, and then decapitate it. Just.
Okay. You are going to need to roll to directly engage a threat for this.
All right. Can I use the last of my hold for an overcharge? I mean, mind you, that's for unleashing powers. I can go ahead and directly engage a threat.
Let's see. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to use overcharge. You could use snatch to disarm it.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. I'll snatch and then directly engage a threat. Yoink! Ooh! That's a bad one. It's a miss on a 3.
Yeah, at least it doesn't have its gun now.
Yep.
So you have, let's see, I should change the music from this. Let's see, is this? Yeah, this is slightly more actiony, but not full-blown action. You yank the gun away and it kind of turns towards you faster than you were expecting it to, and like you shoot out some other vines and it just, very quickly raises an arm and like catches the vines before you can, you were trying to decapitate it, so it just kind of shook, and like, you see that maybe some wires or servos are maybe a bit severed and the hand kind of twitches a bit, but it is very clearly still in action. And it is going to, kind of do a very quick spin move, and like the other arm comes whipping around and like, it basically backhands you, is what happens here.
All right. Would this be take a powerful blow?
No, it's not that powerful. Check how many conditions you have.
I'm only at 2.
Okay. I'll say for now, it's just kind of put you on your back foot, so you'll take a -1 on your next roll. And so that alarm had kind of gone off, but as it sets its sights on you, you hear this robotic voice come out of it, and it says, "Perimeter breached. Intruder alert." And like, so it was very briefly the alarm was off. Now it's like, oh, the kind of alarm you were fully expecting, of like, and like there are red lights all over the place now. It is very unpleasant inside. Outside, you all now actually get some sense that something is afoot. Like you had not seen the alarm that was happening before, but now it's like, oh, maybe a loudspeaker is not as insulated as they would have liked, or there's you can very faintly make out a strobing red light or something, but you now have a sense of like, oh, something has happened inside. What are you all going to do? Vega does kind of say, well, didn't have time to come up with a plan. Hemlock seems to have kicked things off, so I can try and run interference for whatever defenses there are if you all get inside.
I can try and draw fire. So if we want to just sprint for whatever entry, I'll just try and have the drone shoot me, because I can heal.
What?
We're all breaking pieces, and they'll try and shoot for my little bits. I mean, I'm not indestructible, but
Yeah.
I can heal. So I'm kind of indestructible over time.
You offer that, and Vega says, like he's kind of you, but I am more trained than all of you. I will be able to better withstand the blows. You should go and help your teammate. And well, as Vega is saying this through the psychic link, Subrina as the duck, you see that Vega kind of takes off, flapping towards the warehouse, and like as she flaps and gets closer and closer, her form is shifting and growing and expanding until she is like an onyx dragon that is like flying into the airspace here and is just, loud roars, and like you see the drones immediately like break patrol and like are trying to, shoot her with a variety of like energy weapons or bullets and stuff. And as these projectiles hit her, she is, either like opening holes in her body, or is like you see like part of a where like a bullet hits, you see like her form shimmer, and given your understanding of some alien physiology, you understand that she has changed her density, so like the molecules are just doing a thing, and the projectiles pass through. All right, you've got the two of you in the Kirby craft. Are you just rushing out to join?
Yeah, just gonna charge the front door and break it down.
Yep.
Yep.
As Vega actually takes care of that for you, as like she is flying past, her like tail whips out and just smacks open a door, and continues past, drawing the fire of the drones, and you see there are even like turrets that have emerged from the roof of the building and are shooting at her, but she is very adequately drawing attention, and you all are able to make it inside. The entrance here is, it looks looks like an empty abandoned warehouse for the most part. You see some crates off to one side that say the labels are worn down, but you can make out fireworks on some of the crates. The crates are empty, on their sides, but you see that on like one of the lids. But as you go to where like you can hear the sound of the alarm and the flashing red lights, you do see some other crates, some of which aren't fully empty, and it's it's got names of some various corporations in the city and the nearby area. It's very obviously high tech companies that seems like maybe there are parts here. There's no like no products in these crates themselves, but you can see that they have been gathering very powerful high tech materials. But you continue past that to where there's like a stairway down where there is that light going, and you can hear those alarms going off.
I also assume my Chloe GPS is helping out.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you could tell that she is here, and it is pointing you of like, it is doing kind of a direct, well, I guess more, trying to think if it's more just like pointing directly to her through all obstacles, or if it's like some of those video games where it will be like, this is the path you need to take to
The
get
Chloe
her.
line. I mean, it would make sense if it's just like a video game. It's just like, get to the marker, figure it out.
Yeah, but that entrance is very obviously there. You burst through that door, and now it is like, oh shit, this is a high-tech facility. And like, you come out onto a catwalk overlooking a much bigger open area than even the warehouse above you. And here you see like assembly lines for all sorts of high-tech gizmos. You see something that's like producing those drones that you saw flying around, or you see, you don't know that it's what Chloe's facing, but you see like a few of those robots patrolling around and like an assembly line that is producing those, and like it's not like popping them out every second, but you see them in process and slowly being assembled, and other more high-tech devices that you don't necessarily have the time to look at right now. And you see that most of the robots on this factory floor are heading down towards another door leading out that you can't see what's that way yet, but the alarms are going off, the lights, the sirens, all that stuff. What do you all do?
Can I make us go super fast? Sorry, go ahead, Sabrina.
Sabrina just like looks down, looks at everything, like gets this little smile on her face, and she just goes, "You guys go get Hemlock. I've got an idea. I'm gonna be a distraction." She floats up and starts flying down, and she's just gonna start like full on shoulder checking all of these like all of the conveyor belts and like just wrecking these machines to like draw attention and mess up what's going on up here so that they can sneak down, because if all the things are following that, she wants to draw the attention to her.
Sure. This sounds like a provoke someone roll.
I would love to provoke somebody.
So
Thank
please
you
roll
for
plus
asking.
Superior.
Oh boy, hold on.
Now, provoke someone does technically say susceptible to your words, but this is you're provoking them.
Oh, it's a 6.
Oh dear. You could
Can
take
we
the
help?
risk and the potential, or you could accept help from the team.
I would love help, please.
I'm gonna do what I was gonna do earlier, and I'm just gonna make like I'm gonna like duplicate Sabrina's, like as she like dives, it's like 2-3 of her like diving in sync. So also when they shoot at her, odds are they might miss her.
Ah, I see.
All right, so that brings it up to a 7. So, so on the 7 to 9, they instead choose 1. They stumble, you take +1 forward against them. They err, you get a critical opportunity. I'll say that they err, which is
Okay.
in this case that they are. I mean, for your purposes, they err in that they all react to this new and very present danger and threat rather than investigating what else was happening before. So
Be loud, be proud.
so Fragment and Chrysalis, you see the robots that had been gathering by the door suddenly turn and like the different segments of the body turn around in the very robotic fashion and then start like mobilizing back towards the corvids, freeing you all up to go down the hallway. Let's cut back over to Hemlock, who is tangling with this one currently. Let's see. You have just been backhanded by it. You're kind of reeling a bit, but you also have it kind of held by one arm with the vines. Its gun is scattered across the floor away from it. What are you going to attempt to do in this moment?
I've got one more burn.
Mm-hmm.
My snatch ability says you can seize any one object up to the size of a person from someone within view.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pick up the robot and throw it into server lasers?
Yeah. Because I did say it is, 6 feet. So you, shoot out some more vines around it. It tries to maneuver the other arm, which, just means it's tangled up even more. You lift up the vines. It starts kicking a little bit as its legs leave the floor, but you just yeet it towards a server. And, it's going to make the full-on portal turret sounds of being disintegrated.
I don't hate you.
And so, that threat is vanquished. The gun is still on the floor if you wish.
Yeah, she'll reach out with a vine, snag it, and grab it. And she's just gonna have the gun like on a vine, like hanging over her shoulder. I don't know, like Dr. Octopus style. She's gonna start slithering down the hallway.
Yep. and I'll say you don't need to get into the exact architecture of this building, but it's not just like, oh, you turn one side and you can get to the factory floor. There are going to be a series of turns and twists and stuff. And you pass by several other rooms.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
did it disintegrate completely?
Yes.
Okay, I will continue.
Yeah. You continue down. There are, other rooms to the side. Some, like, you just see doors that you're passing. Some you see, like, windows that you can peek into. And you get, glimpses of there's what seems like a security room with no one in it. But, you see monitors overlooking other things in the facility. You pass by, trying to think what other rooms there would be, but there aren't flesh and blood people using this place, so you don't need a bathroom or things like that. There is no break room, etc., etc. Every room that you can see into seems to have a very utilitarian purpose, and then there are, as I said, the doors that you don't, completely opaque. You can't look through unless you choose to stop and open them, but you can kind of hear, sounds of a scuffle further away.
All right, that's probably the direction she should head in. So she goes, just like, she is like fully suspended by her vines at this point. They're just scrambling.
Yep. I'm just imagining the, Into the Spider-Verse scene where they are found there by Doc Ock and are trying to get away. So you start making
Here's
your
the
way.
good news. You don't need the monitor.
Yeah. Chrysalis and Fragment, you are heading down this hall. You go through this door, confident that you haven't been found by any of the robots yet. And you start going down, but it is quieter in here, and it is less obvious where to go. You see some signs that say, you see server room, you see control room, you see security room, and you see, I had a thought where to go. You see utility room.
Is my Chloe GPS moving towards us, farther away from us? Can I tell that it's moving?
It's moving. It is from sort of the same direction as server room and control room.
Is it moving away from us?
It is moving towards you, but
okay.
It is kind of it's farther away than you would expect it to be, given that this underground space, extends past the building up top.
Okay,
the beard
cool.
warehouse.
So somewhere down this way is where she's going. She's also moving, so she's still fine, unless someone picked up her body. I don't know why I said that. Let's go.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna try and make us go super fast. So fast.
Okay.
Like Sonic.
It sounds like an Unleash Your Powers roll.
Here we go. Get ready to help me.
All right.
Let's roll freak. Here we go.
Hey.
Oh, I finally missed. Yay.
Well, do you want to take the miss and get potential?
I think we want to go fast. Do we want to go fast?
If you want the potential, go ahead.
Maybe we only go a little fast, but I'll take the potential. I haven't gotten potential in a while. I'll take it. Thank you.
So, what palindrome do you attempt in this moment?
Yes. Polish. Hold on. Google Translate, help me out. Zagwisht if gash, which means whistle and get a move on.
Okay. I'm not gonna be able to come up with like a corruption of that on the fly.
You don't know Polish?
Nope. But essentially,
maybe we'd go a little faster. There's just a high-pitched whistle following us.
I was just gonna say we can't stop whistling. We're just whistling.
Oh, no!
Well, that and the speed comes in fits and bursts.
You have to whistle in order to go fast.
So, yes, and like the speed comes in fits and bursts that you can't necessarily control super well. So like sometimes you're, you know, trying to run and suddenly you speed up and slam into the wall, and then it's like, oh, and you like stumble away from that and start speeding down the corridor, and then you immediately slow down and trip over your own feet. And it's you're getting the sense that you are making slower progress than if you hadn't done this spell.
I'm sorry. I did my best.
But Hemlock, you are starting to hear some extra thuds and bangs from a certain direction.
That's gotta be them. She'll head in that direction.
Yep. Let's pop back out to Subrina. What are you doing to cause mayhem?
Oh, I'm gonna as much destruction as possible. I'm going to laser beam structural integrity things so that in a spot that we didn't come in, like towards the front door situation, avoiding blasts and like just flying around, spinning, like busting through things and them exploding behind me, just giggling.
Okay. This is gonna be an Unleash Your Powers roll as you reshape your environment.
Okay. I am doing that. I get a +1 from my my thick and thin skin. That is a 6. Another 6. God damn. I'll take the miss.
Yeah,
I can't keep it. I have to take. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Does that give you an advancement?
It does. It does give me an advancement.
You can immediately take.
I'm going to unlock my moment of truth, so I don't think it should take.
Well, I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you could immediately use it, but anyway.
That sounds like a thing we need to talk about beforehand.
Perhaps. Anyway, so.
Just wing it. The whole alien race comes, it's fine.
I mean,
yeah.
Is that true?
That's the outsider's moment of truth, is like your people show up.
Yeah, you embrace your home and call them for aid. They will answer your call in force, arriving exactly when you need them to turn the tide. They fight and serve you for the rest of the battle.
My understanding is that you unlock it, and then it's just available for when you need it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, but the other thing of that is, like, because I've even got it here, it's like, of course, when all is said and done, they'd probably like to take you home with them. You did, after all, just prove yourself worthy.
That's true.
And so it's, Anyway, so you are flying around trying to cause mayhem and destruction, and you realize, like, those duplicates that Fragment made for you aren't causing very much destruction, and, she's getting farther away and has well, you don't know this, but having done a failed spell, like, you can only keep concentration up on one spell at a time in D&D 5e, and so like the duplicates are faltering, and the robot seems to very quickly determine, like, oh, these aren't really doing anything, and so they are quickly converging on you. Gosh, how punishing do I want to be with this?
I have two conditions left.
Oh.
So, do your worst.
Don't threaten me with a good time. So I'll say that for now you are very quickly surrounded and apprehended by the robots. And as you try and shift forms, one of them that is gripping you just like lets out an electric burst that will like stun you and stops you from changing forms.
I'll put out a signal. Kevin, kind of been caught here. Hurry up.
And so first as you get that signal, as you and Fragment are ping-ponging around the halls down here.
All right. At that, have we gone through any doors recently or anything like that as we go
There
through
have been
here?
some like double doors, and you are seeing similar things to what Hemlock was seeing of like sometimes there are doors with windows, lots of just closed doors. They all generally seem to be unmarked. So you're not quite sure what's behind any of them.
On the way, if Sabrina's being apprehended, I am gonna look for something I can use to try and block up this hallway. So if we go through double doors or something, I want to like smash them together and like leave a little like mouse hole at the bottom, so like a small animal could get through,
Okay.
or just something like that.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. Doesn't need a roll for that. And I'll say that as you are doing this and continuing on following your Chloe GPS, the three of you are going to meet up in this room that is different from anything else you've seen back here. This is a room full of monitors. It's basically the room that the architect is in at the end of the Matrix, or that was the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so just monitors all over the place. Like you come in from the two entrances and kind of meet in the middle. And Hemlock, you see Fragment and Chrysalis are kind of like stumbling, and it's just they look incredibly awkward as they like shudder to a halt in here. But the three of you have found each other.
Whew. So situations evolve fast. We gotta go save Corbin.
Chloe like fucking like vine scrambling, just like zoop goes right over to Kevin, just like hugs him.
No. All right.
I thought you were dead.
Nope. Fragment saved us. We were gonna get out of there.
I was trying to get you to, but then you saved yourself, I guess.
I think I made this whole thing a lot more complicated. I don't know.
But you're okay.
And as you say that, the monitors in the room kind of all flick on, and they start with just that image of an eye that is just like looking at all of you, and you hear the voice that Fragment, you don't know this, but Chrysalis and Hemlock, you recognize it as screenshots of voice of, yes, you did make this complicated, and now I have your friend. You made the mistake of coming here in the meat space. The consequences here will be more permanent.
Okay. But is this where you are?
I am wherever I choose to be.
Can I? I know I don't have a Corvid GPS. But could I? I would like to get her to come to here.
Okay. I'd say that this would be an unleash your powers.
Heck, I'll try and teleport her to me. Jebri did it earlier. I can do it.
You can certainly try.
All right. I'm gonna cast a spell. I'll pick a palindrome in a second. Get ready to help me, folks. Oh, that's a +1. Because, I guess not. Because, it regards her. Because I have influence over her. But I don't know if that counts. Because you get +1 to any roll that targets these people. Technically, it targets her. I'm targeting her with teleportation.
Yeah, Now I'm trying to think. This isn't just me trying to make this not work, but I'm thinking like I probably should have imposed some penalty on it for you not knowing exactly where she is.
It's true. I had a spell on her that failed, and it's gone now. So I don't even have like a magical connection to her location.
Yeah.
It does +1 to unleash your powers towards them. It does. Okay.
Yeah.
What if I had a -1 that negated my +1?
Yes. So you would be sitting at this 6 that you have. One of you could spend some team from the pool. How much do you all have at this point?
think still
So
four.
I think we have
three.
three.
Oh.
We used one earlier to help.
Nah.
I used it earlier.
Do it. Heck and do it.
I
Wait,
can
hold
help.
on.
I know I can psychically. We're still psychically linked.
Oh, can we Vulcan mind meld? You find where she is, and I magic bring.
Yeah. Like you could like essentially take like the wires that are their disconnected minds and fuse them together.
Everyone
Alright.
suddenly gets sadder.
Oh, what is this feeling?
That's
What is this
depression.
So sudden and new.
Sudden and blue.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna say, are we not drawn onward? We few drawn onward to new era, and that's the palindrome I do to bring her to us.
okay. So that does bring it up to a mixed success. Are you going to mark a condition, or is this unstable or temporary?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna mark a condition. She's my bud, and I was supposed to help her, and I fucked up, and she got. I'm gonna. I mean, I sounded angry just then. I'll mark angry.
Okay.
We fucking
So-
kissed.
Yeah. So Corbett
What?
back out in the back out in the main room. You are held by these robots. They are starting to, like, lift you up by your limbs so that it's difficult to struggle. And like the doors that your friends went through like burst open as there's like this shimmer, like the shimmering powder that you saw happen to the dandelions earlier, like and like sweep over you, and it's you get very fuzzy and tingly, and it's just like your vision is obscured as you were caught up in like this tornado of glitter.
Ooh, can it sort of be a little bit like a golden version of like a Sailor Moon transformation? So it's like golden ribbons and like turns into like stardust and then like poof, gone.
Sure. Yes. Very good. And then you reappear in this circular room with the others.
God.
Yep. And as you are doing that, doors slam down to the entrances here. And Screenshot says, well, that's an interesting development that I will take to my advantage.
Thank you.
Woo. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just wasn't ready for it.
It's the first time I've ever done it. I'm glad you didn't get
Oh.
flinched or something. Hmm.
Oh gods. I've seen Harry
Alright.
Potter.
We all have.
Okay.
Chrysalis,
We should have backup soon, right?
Chrysalis, do you sense any organics in the building?
No, it's just us. Well, and you know, it's Vega outside, which I suppose we can talk about. You know about that, right? Screenshot.
Right,
what's your name?
super nerd.
Probably.
You know about that
Yes,
dragon, right?
She
Cool.
is
You've
being
seen it?
rather distracting.
Yeah.
What do you want?
For you to leave me alone.
We
Why did
can't
you
do
pick a
that.
fight with us, dummy?
If you wanted to be left alone, you should have stayed out of our business.
You should not have located my lair in the first place. And now I have to punish you for that.
Okay,
Promise?
that's fair. That's what. Ross, are you okay?
Look,
You're
been a day.
underage. What?
No, you're all 18.
We're all 18 now.
Okay,
We're
that's
all
fair. That's fair.
18.
That's fair. Look, the paladins are coming. Either abandon ship or get ready to get wrecked, because we've made a lot of damage, but they can make more.
The paladins have never been able to stop me before. Why should they be able to do so now?
No one's ever found your place before, but they have now, thanks to us.
Also,
Also, we already told them where we were, so.
yeah, we'll be wrecking shop here, keeping you busy. So I think if you just give up now, it'll save everyone a lot of time and effort. Just let's lead towards the inevitable conclusion here of you losing. As we all
Right.
agree, that's inevitable.
I thought kids these days were more tech savvy. Have you never heard of backups before?
I have a question, and this might just be me. Why are you being evil? I mean, you can make so much money on the market with all the items that you have. I mean, like,
That's a really good point.
yeah, like alien tech goes for a lot of money, and if you go legit, like, you don't have to worry about people like coming in and busting your shit up. You could just like sell it normally, and like, I mean, you can make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, and still be very evil. It would just be legal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
It is not my place to educate you about the economics of black market, but trust me, this is much more lucrative.
That isn't though. All your shit's getting wrecked by the cops.
You think this is all my, as you say, shit?
At least it's some of it. Look, I'm just saying, it's probably easier to go about it in a legal way, and you don't have to, like, do so much effort, right? Like, it's just like, you don't have to go through the black market and deal with shitty people. You can just deal with normal shitty people.
Let's see, I'm trying to think. There's a role I should have someone here do.
I'm about to fly off the
Is
handle,
it Pierce the
so-
Mask?
Yeah, I mean, someone should pierce the mask.
It's
please.
not me. It's not me.
I'll
I'm a
roll
negative
pierce the
two.
mask.
It's a negative 2
Who
for
can
me,
pierce the
bruh.
mask?
I
Who
mean,
among
you all
us?
can
Only
try.
Kevin.
Maybe
Who
you'll
among
get
us is the
potential
most
from it.
mundane?
Surprisingly, the bug person.
-1.
Oh, I'm at 0.
I'm a -2 and I'm angry, so I'm a -4.
It
Yeah.
maxes out at -3, but
No.
let's have you all roll it so that you can maybe get more potential.
Okay, sounds great.
Thanks.
Well,
2,
so
1, 3.
we have
Sorry. What did you guys say? My husband's going to bed.
roll plus mundane to pierce the mask. We currently have a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Is everybody doing it?
Yes.
Yep.
For
Yep.
that extra
Well, I mean, it
potential.
stands to reason I should roll a 4 here.
Bring it on.
Do it.
Wow, it's 6.
So
Oh,
still
but that's
a
the
miss.
sum of all. That's the sum of all.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 make 6.
So you all get potential.
Anybody want to team me?
I'll team you.
Team.
I've been talking
I think
to
I'm
most.
gonna say because you all were.
Oh, that's true.
Aw,
doing this.
man.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, man. Come on, Teach.
So you all are so convinced that you are going to be able to, talk your way out of this, convince them of your points, and you don't really notice that, like, you only notice when it's too late that the lights in here have suddenly been shifting to a menacing red, and like the eyes on all the monitors are like starting to close and squint, and like the pupils in them are vibrating until it's just like very unnerving that there's just motion all around you. And the voice says, I thought I would have to distract you longer, but you did that yourselves.
Oh,
I will be
weird.
leaving here now. These are acceptable losses.
Oh.
But I don't know if your loss will be as acceptable.
Moment of truth. Or doing it. Moment of truth. Before he leaves.
Okay.
Oh my god!
All right. Let's.
It's happening!
Okay.
Oh my god! Keep going, people!
So, let's see. Would you like to read the moment of truth, or should I?
Sure, I can read it. It's so easy to forget that you're not your body and you're not the voice in your head. You're both. Be the monster and save them anyway. Smash down walls and speak softly. Because when you embrace it, you can do anything. Of course, putting on a display like this is sure to rile up those who see only the monster when they look at you.
Okay. So, you are using your moment of truth. You essentially get to decide the narrative here. I will offer input as needed, but what happens next?
I think I just want to like telekinetically reach out and just start severing connections to the place. Like maybe even, I don't know how far this goes, but like start lifting the ground up like Sokovia style and just like start bringing this warehouse up, just wrecking it around us.
Okay. Yes. As you reach out, there's a psychic defense feedback before, and it hurts, but you get the sense that like things are about to go very poorly, and so you have to push through it. There is no alternative. And as you push past it, like every moment of this is going to be agony, but you reach out and you start sensing the connections, and you get the sense like, wait, this is very similar to Elena at home.
Ooh.
You get the sense that Screenshot is an AI of some kind. And once you realize that, it's so much easier to just be like, oh, well, now I know what to do. And you just start, as you said, severing connections. Somehow you're not necessarily rewriting code, but you are like the eyes start like powering down, for lack of a better word. And, as you are exerting more energy, yes, like the rest of you feel this too, of like, oh, wait, everything is starting to lift up. Like you all are starting to lift up a bit, but also the building around you is starting to lift up. And as this goes, Screenshot is trying to say something. You all can't really hear them over the sounds of this whole warehouse shifting. And like, Kevin, you have the sense now that like this underground portion extends for multiple city blocks beyond what you thought it was. And you also get the sense as you are reaching out through those connections and severing them, like Screenshot has layers, as it were, all over the place. Like this is just one. Like he has backups, as he said. And you very briefly have a sense of where those other data centers are. And it's almost like they are seared into your mind in this moment. And it's, indistinguishable from the other pain that is happening. But you get the sense that Screenshot like breaks through all that noise for a moment and says, I will need to keep a closer eye on you in the future. Your little AI won't be able to keep you safe forever. And with that, you get the sense that Screenshot's presence has completely abandoned this facility. And with that, like the psychic feedback drops, and suddenly like it is so much easier to exert your power as you just, the whole facility breaks loose. And you lift up, you bump into Vega, who, scrambles out of the way. And, for the audience's sake, Vega is like, oh shit, and like calls in what is happening. And it's not too long before other paladins show up, as you have lifted up these city blocks, hovering over the street. There's a big, massive hole in the ground. Like, you're not going nearly as high up as Sokovia was, but and the rest of you see, like, you turn and look at your friend, who is like, the spikes have reached out into the ground, and like there are more spikes than usual, but you also, even those of you, like, none of the rest of you really have psychic powers, but even to you can tell, like, oh, these are more like psychic antenna, and each of them are like emitting these palpable waves. And it is like, yes, this is your friend, but this is the scariest you have ever seen Kevin before. Is there anything else you would like to do with your moment of truth at this point?
I think with like this kind of heightened psychic stuff, I'm going to broadcast to paladins and stuff. Basically any hero I know of, the location of Screenshots, other layers, and kind of realizing what's going on. try and slowly lower the ground back down before maybe like the last like 10 feet or so, which is still going to be a huge impact. Like it actually, like it drops, and I think I collapse, like unresponsive.
Yep.
Ross freaks.
Like, rule of cool, like, is the psychic strain so strong that like a crack forms on his forehead?
I think there's a few cracks in the armor.
Oh!
Yep. And so I think that's probably where we're going to end tonight, with the facility crashing back to Earth. You know, you find out later there are reports of like, you know, people think it's a minor earthquake, and you know, everyone very quickly learns what has happened here. And then it was your Squire squad that did this. Like, the Paladins can't keep that much, and like they managed to suppress specifically what happened and like who is responsible, but it's like, oh, it was Squires who did this. And so we are going to zoom out as your friends gather around your currently collapsed, probably unconscious form.
Ra's just like babbling in bunches of different languages, like trying stuff to like wake him back up, basically trying to like defibrillate him. I'm assuming it doesn't work, but she's freaking out, man.
Yeah. And you know, for player and audience peace of mind, Kevin is going to be okay. He may be different after this, but just so that no one is leaving too stressed out. But
He's gonna be okay. Just different.
Yep. But that is where we are going to end tonight's session. So let me put on the happier music now, because we got our end of session stuff to do. Woo! Okay. Let's see. Start and end of session. So at the end of every session, choose one. You grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or you grow away from the team. And those all have their things. And also think about your stars and wishes.
Oh, can I ask first? Hey, Subrina. Hey, Kevin. Do you believe in Roz?
From the move at the very start of the session.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Did you believe in Roz in that moment, though?
for sure. I mean, like when she was like, "We brought you back," I was like, "Oh yeah, hey."
Yeah.
I don't doubt Kevin believes in Roz, because
Yeah.
Kevin's it's just a sweet, perfect angel being. Should be protected at all costs. Okay, that's all. Bye.
I have mine.
Okay.
And I'm going to steal because I'm sure most people will want to say it. But I'm going to say that Corvid came into vision of herself more so than the others, with her taking more of a lead and like seeing what she could be with this paladin that is basically her. She's like, oh, I could do all these things, and doing the quote unquote EMP, which she believes might be. So yeah, she's gonna do that, and then my stars and wishes. My star is fucking Kevin coming through. My wish, I mean, this whole moment of truth thing, Kevin being very scary. I think Subrina is going to like have to take a step back and like reevaluate like their friendship, because she doesn't like, this is something that's like she wasn't expecting it. So I think my wish is like they have to have a conversation about like what she's feeling about what happened, and she has to process it. And I think that it would be best if she and Kevin talked about it as opposed to like her going to somebody else about it. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Very good. Why can't I spell in my notes? That's fine. All right. Who would like to go next?
I think I've got mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna choose grew closer to the team. Specifically Kevin. mostly because he was the first person she got in contact with that she realized that they weren't dead. And they did have a little hug. So that qualifies enough for me. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and clear a condition, that being angry, so that the only condition I have is guilty. And I feel like that sums up how she feels about the situation pretty well. So you already have influence over me, so you are free to adjust my labels accordingly. What else am I to do here?
Stars and wishes.
Stars and wishes. Oh, come back to me for stars and wishes.
All right.
I'm not ready yet. I lied. I'm a liar.
That's okay. We all lie sometimes. I mean, we've just been lying to our audience for the past 3 hours. But it's a lie we all agree to in a collective shared hallucination. All right. Who would like to go next? Or David, have you figured out which labels to shift?
Yeah, I could do both. I was going to shift danger up and mundane down.
That sounds perfect. It's exactly what I would have done.
All right. And then, yeah, I was also going to say grew closer to the team and was going to say Chloe because of the rescue and the hug and stuff like that. Basically same thing. That was a good team building moment.
I will say, oh shoot, do I have influence over you?
Probably.
I do. Okay. Let me hop into your character sheet. I have no idea what you're gonna do. I don't know what you're turning into. So I'm gonna do what I always do and make character decisions here. I'm gonna up your danger because you are in a lot of danger today. I'm gonna drop your mundane, bud. It's just it's the theme of your your moment of truth. That people have seen you at your most monstrous. So I know it's your lowest, but it's going even lower. That being said, like I feel like Chloe has the opposite feelings on the situation to Subrina. It's like she is in a situation where like all her life people have coddled her and worried about her, and now suddenly she has to worry about other people, and like this is a new experience for her. And like she's feeling it extra for Kevin now. Stars and wishes. My star is how cool and scary Screenshot is. Like the eyes on screens thing is such a neat fucking aesthetic. Like it's real spooky and I like it a lot. And Chloe being shunted into a situation where there's no like organic matter around and like everything is technology, and she's all like, oh, I'll sit here and wait in a room until like, you know, some flesh and blood comes along and then I can slurp them up and get more powerful, and it's a fucking robot.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's my star. That's a good challenging situation for her to be thrown into. Yeah. Wishes. What are my wishes? I want to see what Kevin's up to. I want to know. I want to know what his deal is. Yeah, I think my wish is for to see what Kevin's going to be, which obviously is going to happen. So my wish is going to be for Chloe to take an active role in helping his recovery, where whatever that may be.
Very good. And before we forget, we should also do some of your doom stuff. So would you say that you have overexerted yourself tonight?
I'd say so. Yeah, I would.
So
I would
go
say
ahead
so.
and mark your doom track. And then have you made any progress towards defeating your illness?
I don't think so.
Nope. So go ahead and mark your doom track again.
All right. Well, I did advance tonight.
Okay.
But I did not advance my Doom track. I have one more check
Yep.
mark left.
Yep. And you have 3 out of the 5 currently. Because when you take the 6th, your doom arrives. So we'll get to that eventually. Yeah, very good. Let's see.
I guess it's my turn.
David did not do his stars and wishes. Would you
Oh,
like
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do that, or should Z go first?
I can do my stars and wishes. Star was just getting to do the thing. I've been wanting to do this for a hot minute, so that was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. Wish is to I think have just kind of a carryover of the consequences of what just happened a little bit more, even though I'm going to be changing quite a bit and like kind of be a different individual, like kind of have that carry through.
Makes sense. Very good.
Kitty.
It's a kitty, it's Abaddon. But it's Z's turn now.
Oh, me, it is my turn.
Not to be a downer, but Roz grew away from the team, weirdly enough. Contrary to the first half of the sesh, I think she feels detached because, like, she wasn't there for, like, the meat of this whole thing. And then, like, her coming in just was, to her, felt like she was just kind of, like, trying to catch up, like, trying to tag along, like, trying to clean up stuff. And just, like, kind of like a kid trying to, like, break into a circle of friends kind of a feeling of, like, you guys all know what's going on. You guys, like, did all this stuff, and I'm just kind of here. And then, of course, like, it made perfect sense. But when Chloe was like, Kevin, yay, I thought you were dead. And Ross just, like, awkwardly stands there, not a part of the group. And also just, like, repeatedly fucking up spells. Yeah, I don't know. She just felt like a guest star today. Like, she felt love. No, I didn't. I had a great time. But Ross is like, I'm just a sidekick. Like, oh, it's a bridesmaid, never a bride kind of a deal. And I am going to take influence away from Chloe.
Yeah. I will remind you, you can award influence over you to another character at any time you want. It's just taking it away that is trickier. But it makes sense to me. And you have your stars and wishes.
Stars Jebri. I love him. Them. Love them. Just like,
I am a bean. I'm just trying to help. And I don't know things, but I'm trying.
and I just love Jebri a lot. A lot of good things happen this sesh though, but love a good Jebri. Wish is for, let's see. I mean, everybody already said we want to see what's up with Kevin. I agree. Plus one. We want to see consequences of what happened today. +1. I want to see what's up with Hive Mind. Is Hive Mind our buddy? It's fall. Bees are active still. Get over here, bees.
All right. Noted. Okay, and then me. I mean, my star, I think, is going to be, the moment of truth, but for slightly different reasons. Like, when LB mentioned, like, getting the moment of truth and being like, we should discuss this later on, and, makes sense and totally a reasonable method of handling it. But then also David coming in is like, okay, I've set up this thing. I don't know how y'all are going to get out. And Kevin just be like, a moment of truth. And it's like, oh, well, that's how. And being like, okay, let's go with this, because it is just based on my experience with the system. It is interesting to be like, oh, wait, I've used my moment of truth. I no longer have a get out of jail free card anymore. I'm going to have to, I've already shot my shot with that. And so seeing how things are going to go from there. And so doing the, the working together to establish what happened with the moment of truth, and, seeing where Kevin is going to go with it, and also being like, you don't have that tool in your tool belt anymore. And so, going to be interesting to see if that affects things going forward. And then my wish. Oh, one more bit of the star is it is cool because I think Screenshot is really the first villain that y'all haven't really defeated before necessarily, aside from Mr. Master. And so having this whole little mini arc of like, oh, here's a villain that you've encountered that you haven't been able to just like one and done. And, it's not quite clear who came out on top in this with the moment of truth action. If you hadn't done that, he absolutely would have gotten away completely scot-free, or they. But gonna be interesting to see what the fallout from that is. And then, gosh, I think my wish is to see how the team like reevaluates things, because LB, you were saying like Sabrina's like, oh, I get to see this person be like a better, more powerful version of myself. And then also you saw your friend be this terrifying powerhouse for a moment. And then you're also going to have to face the consequences of this. It's amusing that you referenced Sokovia, because like there may be a little tiny bit of that of like y'all fucked up with using your powers too much, and we're gonna have to deal with that. And so just there are gonna be so many consequences, not all bad, but just like seeing you all deal with like the after effects of today and how that is going to shape your character's growth going forward is going to be interesting.
Don't put me in jail, Paladins. I tried to do a good job.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because this is going to be Fragment's debut.
No!
So, but that all said, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. This was a very exciting episode. Let's see, just very briefly, the channel stuff. Not going to be a Tuesday stream next week because we'll be doing session 0 for our new game, which is going to be exciting as we figure that out and how we are going to come at you with that. Thursday, we should be back with Elegant Creatures. Saturday is going to be Saturday Night's Pathfinder. Sunday, we should be back with Dusk Falls Dead. And then that would take us back around to Tuesday, which I said no stream. But you should watch our stuff on YouTube. Shameless plug that the reason we have a new Tuesday show coming up is we recently finished The Burbs, which David ran and LB and I played in, which was a lot of fun. You can easily go power through that now if you wish.
We've got VODs of video games, which birthed this shirt.
Yep.
Just
stand up a little more so we can
watch
see
our
the
stuff.
text.
Watch our stuff. We're funny. We're funny.
We are funny.
Don't refer to
even if
me.
only to ourselves. Yes. That was from Sid's birthday stream where we did a bunch of Jackbox games, and so we got that shirt. There's also we have put the link to get these TKO shirts in our Discord. So another reason you should come hang out with us there. Lots of memes, lots of talking about our shows and other tabletop RPG stuff. Just a bunch of nerds doing nerd things. And yeah, anyone got things they would like to plug or promote before we sign off tonight?
Yeah, Thursday night on the LB Hack 'em Up channel. It is Lauren's birthday. We're going to be doing some Jackbox games, all those fun things. So please stop by. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to make crazy shirts. I've got my tablet and no one else does. So hopefully I can make some choice memes for this event.
Nice.
And everyone wish her a happy birthday because she is my best friend and she deserves it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us then. So, once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to my players for putting up with my repeated inflictions of bullshit on y'all. It was a lot of fun tonight. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.